Rebecca in
Hello,
Natika.
Clovis.
I want to tell you something about today. We are moving into autumn at this point in time here in South Africa, in Bloemfontein. So as you can see, the leaves are starting falling, and it's so lovely.
Change of seasons.
At this point in time, it's actually not that cold yet. It's actually nice. But it's so nice to see the leaves that's starting to change and they start to fall down, and it's another kind of prettiness that's coming through. And you know, there's actually a beautiful, beautiful god for the autumn season. And her name is Horafel. So that's quite interesting, but let me take you a bit through and show you. As you can see, the flowers aren't blooming now.
Yes, yeah. But it's still beautiful.
It's still awesome for this time of year. The garden is looking very, very beautiful. Here we've got a couple of flowers left, like the little rose there, and the garlic flowers that's coming up now. But it's so nice to see it. It's
See
lovely.
the new grow, the changing of everything.
Everything is
It's just
starting
amazing.
to change now.
Yeah, ne? And I wanted to tell you last time, the meditation area with the disco, as the people should know them as the disco balls. It's also a good reflection to get rid of all the negativity. Reflects back to whatever curses is sent to you or someone bringing in something. But
That
I
is
think,
so.
yeah, so that's also a thing I wanted to point out. That's awesome.
But let me quickly show you this lovely, lovely rose that I've got this side. Look at this elder yellow rose.
Oh, that's
And that
beautiful.
small one there. Look at those flowers that's coming up now. And if you look here,
Oh,
the
that's
Grenadillas isn't supposed to go on at this point in time, and actually they are blooming now.
Yeah, and you are having some fruits falling by millions.
So if I look at what's going on, we are 3 months behind,
Yes.
but everything is going on so beautifully, and the garden is so nice. And we promise you people, this swimming pool will be nice.
Nikita, are we ready?
Oh, Ernst, that's ready as always. And today we are going to discuss the importance of self-shielding to prevent demonic possession, psychic attacks, anxiety attacks, etc. If you haven't seen the previous programs A to D, please catch up in order to understand the contents of this program E. I promise you that if you haven't watched the previous programs, every time you see a new program, you are not going to understand the contents of the newest program or the meaning of new names in it. Ernst, are we going to share some ancient wisdom secrets?
Nikita, indeed. To start off, I will explain some of the ancient wisdom secrets on what is self-shielding, why it is important to master the art of self-shielding, why does shielding work, and how do I shield myself, etc. Now, before we start, please help us to reach people who really need this kind of spiritual information. You can do so by pressing the like, the share, the subscribe buttons, as well as the little bell icon. Thank you, Quibus, so that you can be in line for more spiritual wisdom. Now, I know we can make this world a better place if all people can know what we know. Please press that buttons and little bell icon, please. Yeah, what is self-shielding? Self-shielding is a privilege, but also a true light side deity weapon. The Most High Torata Yahweh Goria and his council of Torata Res put into place for all true light side kingdom representatives to use again any dark side consciousness giving life forms.
Ernst, is it a weapon anybody can make use of?
Fortunately for us who represent the true light side kingdoms of the Most High, Torah, Yahweh, Goria, self-shielding does not work for true darkness representing any of the dark side kingdoms. When we come to that exactly, or what exactly makes self-shielding work, you will see for yourself what I mean. No, Nikita, self-shielding in the way we do it is not for everybody who try it. They won't succeed. If you're light side, it will work most probably, because then you are a light side representative. But if you're dark side, it's not going to work for you. It's going to burn you down to ashes. Not really, but in the spiritual sense.
I'm sure that friends who may be watching this program as his or her first program in this series may not know who are the true light side kingdom representatives and who are the true dark side representatives. Can you please explain to them in a few sentences who represent which kingdom?
In very short, the following, based on the biblical definition of Satanism and extreme Satanism. If you are at the steering wheel of your own life on earth, or you serve gods who are not true light side Toratas or true creator Hefkenams, and or if you ignore the cosmic laws of the Most High Torah Yahweh Goria, and or if you dethroning your God and giving him orders on a daily basis as if you are God and he is your God or your slave, he as God becomes your slave. God do this and God do that, go with this one and protect this one, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Then you serve the true dark side with Satan in charge of the dark side kingdom on earth. Now, if you practice the above I explained, it doesn't mean that you are a true darksider. You can be a true darksider, but it could also be that you are mind controlled, and because of your state of mind control, haven't thought of it in this way. I'm sure billions of people out there pray wrong or pray to a Messiah which isn't a God at all. If they listened to this and the previous programs in this series, they will come, or they will come out of their mind-controlled state. Then they will realize that their definition of God was wrong from the beginning or from the start. If you refuse not to be at the steering wheel of your own life, or you ignore the true cosmic laws, which is not the Ten Commandments, or the Mosaic laws of Moses and the false gods of the tribe of Israel, followed from time to time, and you don't want to serve the true Most High, or the real light side creator, Hefkenams, super Hefkenams, all those who created you as a consciousness giving life form, and you order the deities on what they must and must not do, then you can be a real or true dark side kingdom representative. See the Baramis writings under books on the main page of our website and or YouTube website for more details. The question was, what is self-shielding? Self-shielding is a cosmic science compiled for true light side consciousness giving life forms to shield us, who is part of the true light side deity kingdoms through all dimensions and universes, with a shield of light not visible to the human eyes, who can average see only three-dimensional. This shield of pure, bright, spiritual light is to protect us against true dark side attacks on all levels. Now this shield serves as a weapon to keep the true dark side away from us.
Oh, yes.
Now self-shielding doesn't mean that we can only shield ourselves as consciousness giving life forms. We use the same method to shield our cars, our horses, businesses, etc.
Arends, does it mean that we can shield our beloved ones as well with this shield of light?
Nikita, no. Let me answer you by making use of the following comparison. If you, due to hard work and training, qualify to be a sniper, do you think your son and wife also qualify to get a sniper gun? No, definitely not. The same with true light side deity kingdom representatives. You must first qualify to earn the right to be able to shield yourself. I mean, the light side is always in a war against the dark side. Are you going to give your enemies your weapons?
No, most definitely.
The Most High will most definitely not. That is why I explained that if you are a true light side representative, he will give you the right to shield yourself with the most bright light of the Most High.
Yes.
Those light that light that he radiates. So you
Yes,
can imagine how
exactly.
bright that would be. I
Yeah.
mean, no human eyes can see that. You will be blind on the spot. Now, part of all true light side kingdom representatives' tasks are to be active in the true light side kingdoms, fighting the dark siders around you. If you are not in service of the true light side deity kingdoms, why would they as Hefkenam supply you with the necessary sub-components to master the art of self-shielding yourself? The reason is because it is not fair to give it to everybody who doesn't qualify to use it. I mean, why would you like to have a stethoscope if you're not a doctor?
Yeah.
Or why do you want to drive a car if you haven't got the, let's say, the IQ capacity to drive a car? You
Yes.
cannot remember whatever. You need, if you are an archaeologist, they will give you the subcomponents to do archaeology
Yes.
work,
Yes.
not other work
Yes,
or
yeah.
so. Right, in the previous programs in the series on ancient wisdom secrets, I explained that your children is not your children alone. You as parents created the body of flesh of your child, but if the consciousness giving life form is not present in the body of flesh that you and your wife created, that child will be in a coma. Now, a lot of people don't know it, but you get a silent coma or a sleep coma, let's call it a sleep coma, but you also get a wide coma, where you are wide awake. Now, furthermore, the Holy Scriptures advises us that when the Most High come to collect what is his, two brothers will stand on a field, for instance. The one brother will be taken by the Most High, while the other brother will be left behind to be an earthbounder or to be taken by Satan. Now, Nikita, do you remember the book and course in the Brahma's writings on Zintu? Zintoe. In that book and course, there's a course also on that, I explain in full detail what the influence of different vibrations will have on who or what will give consciousness to the baby just conceived. Listen to what the Christian Bible have to say on it. This is very interesting. Kobus knows it, he studies it with me. You also, actually also, but let's give it to our friends out there.
Yes.
Now, in the King James Bible, 17th century Bible, or translation, the New Testament in the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 1, from verse 12 to verse 13. Verse 12, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them who believe on his name. Now I want to explain something here for you, or to you and our friends out there. Nikita, Aliska, Kobus, you know it, but they don't know it. Normally, and I said with all due respect, but the church pastors and preachers and whatever, especially in the Afrikaans churches here in South Africa, if they read from that specific gospel, they will only read from verse 1 up to verse 12, which is wrong, because it gives you another vision of what is being said there,
Yes.
which is wrong. If you and there's a what do you call it in English, a comma point? Whatever it looks
yes.
like, a point and a little comma, and then the 13th verse carries on. It is not, verse 12 it does not end with a full stop.
Yeah.
Go and check your
Yes.
Bibles.
Yeah.
Now, verse 13. Now, I'm going to read verse 12, and you will see by the end of verse 12, according to what stands there. It seems that everybody who believes there's a God will become a son of God. It's not what verse 13 says. Now I'm going to read verse 12 in line together with verse 13 as it should be read in churches. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them who believe on his name, which were born not from blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. Now you cannot be born out of God, but he created
Yes.
you
Yes.
as a consciousness-giving soul, form or body, to give consciousness to the body of flesh. So if that body of flesh was created by rape or by lust or by any of those mentioned things in the Bible, do you qualify? No. No. And this is how corrupt the churches is in nowadays times. This is what they, to try and get
Yeah.
more pupils or followers, so that their collection boards can be,
Yes.
or plates can be fuller by the end of Sunday afternoon. Nikita, in modern days, people decide for themselves when they want to have children, from who as the father, etc. They are at the steering wheel of their own lives on earth. They decide, I will decide who I'm going to marry. They will not pray from the Most High, please, your will for me as a person, and then test the people who come in your life until you get the good one. Then you know the spiritual developed one. Then you know. No, they do not leave it in God's hands. No, these people decide for themselves. These people don't know the Lord thy God in all their ways. This is what we are doing at Paramis, Tower of Light. We know the Most High in everything we do. Now, how many Western people do you think was really asked for as children in advance from the Most High? Maybe 1%?
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
even think in South Africa it will be 1%. I think it will be 0.00, maybe
In the minus, in
a
the minus.
number, another 9 zeros and then a 1 or something like that. Let us say you have 2 sons. Before you planned your family, you knew the Most High, Toratre Yahweh Goria, in this regard. You asked for a son or a child, if possible, if it was his will. And what about if it's not possible? He says no.
Then
Then
you should
it's his will.
accept it.
Then it is
Yes,
his will,
accept it.
and I will not go and get other children
Yes.
or buy children or,
Yeah.
go to a welfare and ask, listen, I want to adopt a child. No, if
No.
you're not supposed to have children, you don't have to have
Yes.
children.
Exactly.
I mean, why always corrupt the will of the Most High?
Yes.
Right. The second son was conceived by the will of the flesh or by the will of man, in case of rape. Now, or lust, something like that.
Yeah.
Will it help if you shield both your children if they are still small babies or under the age of 13? You can, but if any child turns 13 years of age, he or she will be held responsible for their own choices on earth, which include the right to those the God or to those the God they want to serve. Then they should be able to shield themselves successfully. They will be attracted to the Hefkenam they originate from. That is very, very important. I think you put it in there. It's very important. Thanks for that. And for those people out there who's maybe you wonder why it's the first time you watch the program, why we are reading it from a screen, because I suffer a little bit of, what is that illness? I even forget the name. What?
Dimension.
Yeah, something dimension. I forget.
You're
So-
not here present in this third dimension. You're
Yes.
present in other
So,
dimensions.
as soon as I start with something, I forget what I wanted to say, so I compile it by
Yeah.
writing it. So
Yes.
now you know. If your spouse serves another god or Hefkenam, not from the true light side deity's kingdoms, you cannot shield them. If you try, it will not work. They must serve the true light side Most High in order to qualify to receive the sub components which will enable you to shield yourself against the dark side forces. Now we come to the next question, which is very, very important. Why is it important to master the art of self-shielding? It is important to you to be able to protect yourself against possessions and or attacks by any of the endless different dark side forces. This is only if you qualify as a true light side deity kingdom representative and you are active in service of the true light side deities or the Most High, the highest, Toratere, Yahweh, Goria, no God or whatever is higher than him. Now, yeah.
So, Ernst, what about the true light side religions? Will this method work for them also?
Nikita, the true light side religions on earth, where they serve the Lord, their God, they can use this method. And remember what I said? A true God,
True God,
not
yes.
a Messiah or,
Yeah.
idols or
Yeah.
gods that's no gods.
Yeah.
They must serve a real light side creator, Hefkenam. Doesn't matter if it's the Most High. Some of the Eastern or Mid-Eastern people will pray to Allah, praise his name. He's also a very high ranked.
Yes.
If to them it is their Most High.
Yes.
It's only one of the 5 true, very high gods. So yes. And then if these people are pure in their service to any true light side deity, this method will work for them. They must just practice it until they master it. Remember, I am referring to true light side deity religions, not belief systems, where each belief system believes in whatever they, as a specific church group, for instance, want to believe in that suits them or that which makes them feel good. I'm referring to true light side religions under the Most High, Toratere Yahweh Goria. If they serve the cosmic laws, you know that organization or people or whatever, they serve a real light side
Yes.
God. If they don't, or if they miss out on the cosmic laws, they're not. Maybe they are on
that's
their
the
way to there, but they should
Yeah.
get the cosmic laws. If it is your choice to be a servant in service of a true light side creator, Hefkenam, or in service of the Most High, Toratere Yahweh Goria, make use of the methods of self-protecting your belief system advises or advised you to use. Use it and see if it works for you. If it works, you will not be possessed. I know there's a lot of churches, you know, who use the blood of the Messiah to cover them, to shield them, and with all due respect, if it works for you, carry on with it. We prefer the biblical challenge, or not the biblical, the spiritual challenge of light cannot be taken away by dark side unless the light goes out. But the stronger the light that you are radiating, the further away you press the darkness from you. Blood is usually by use in a satanic ritual, so we don't use blood in any way.
Yeah.
We use but if it works for you, it works for you. Carry on, be happy. And we were all there. I was also there. I think you all, we
It took
all
me
were
35
there.
years though
Yes.
to be
Well, in
awakened,
my
but I'm
case, it
so
was
thankful.
about 20, 30 years ago. I also used those methods.
Yeah.
But we grow, you know,
Yeah.
you grow. If you are serious with your God, you grow. You want to know more. The reason is not your nose or something.
Yeah.
You want to know more so that you can serve Him more correctly according to what He's used to.
Exactly.
That is why. So don't worry if you're still there. We were all there.
Yeah.
And as we said a few years back, we already were still there. We
It's a
didn't
very
cover
big-
ourselves with the Most High's light.
Yeah.
Now, if you look into your eyes, as I have taught you to do, and you see that you share your body with another consciousness-giving life form, ask yourself, why are you possessed and not secured against evil possessions? In other words, use the blood, use the white light, and after that, go back to a mirror and see if your eyes are still a
Yes.
little bit blurry, or not blurry, what's that word? Muddy or
Yeah,
cloudy
muddy
or
or
something.
cloudy.
The iris, the water that covers the iris. You know, that little hollow thing that is there full
Yeah.
of water. You look into there. Make a change if it is necessary. So if the blood doesn't work anymore, go for the light.
Yes.
Make a change if necessary. If it doesn't bother you at all that you share your own body with other dark side consciousness giving life forms, you don't need this program of advice. Because if you are going to pray to idols and all that other stuff, it's not going to work. How can I believe in service of the, how can I be in service of the Most High Torah Yahweh Gloria if I am possessed by demonic or dark side entities? Remember that we communicate daily two ways with the light side kingdom's representatives, which we generally refer to as guides. They are here with us now. And I mean, there's other holy ones also here. Maybe Davroses, gods, goddesses, Hefkenams, they are also here, you know, especially
that's
our
awesome.
guides, which
Thank you.
include Hefkenams, etc. Now, remember that you cannot, you know, have a demon or other dark side entity inside of you with which you share your body and then go and try and cover you up with white
Yeah,
light.
then
You
you
are
lock
going
it
to
in.
shield that entity inside of you, and then it's another story to get it open again. Yeah, because that guide,
How
know,
are you today?
yes, you know, because they guide us and protect us. They are 24/10 exposed to us and our third dimension. Now, how can we expect them to guard over us if we vibrate negatively, or the vibrations of the demons and earthbound souls sharing our human bodies with us are irritating to them? No, it is our duty to see that we, as well as the human bodies we give consciousness to, are clear of demonic entities, earthbound human souls, or a negative vibration, radiation. You know what a a vibration radiation is. It's that thing that when you sit next to somebody that's not like
Yeah, you can feel
you can feel
Yeah,
it.
you'll
You get a fearful or a cold
Mm.
spot or something. Think of what you learned in the previous programs in this series. Whatever you as a consciousness giving life form vibrates affects all life forms in dimensions close to our dimension. Now, because it's like acid. The stronger the acid, the more it
It's
takes away everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Now, because we walk the path the Most High Turatri Yahweh Goria put us individually on, he or any of his angelical messengers may anytime talk or walk through our bodies. Now, how can we, if we are respectful towards our God, how can we expect them to walk or work through our human bodies if demons and or earthbounders share the bodies we give consciousness to us?
I've never thought of it this way before, and it makes sense why we should always be alone in the human bodies entrusted to us individually. It is unthinkable to let true angels, gods, and or Hefkanams use our body if they have to share your body with which you already share with demons and earthbound human souls. What makes self-shielding work? It is a science or what?
Yes, Nikita, definitely. Self-shielding is a cosmic science, but could only be mastered by the true light side representatives, as I said. The reason why self-shielding against dark side entities work only for true light side representatives is as follows. In our third dimension, I can use the following example. Light can and will replace darkness. Now, although in spiritual realms it works the same as what I'm going to explain now. If you light a candle here, it's pitch dark, it's 1 mile under the ground in an old forgotten mine.
Yes.
I mean, it's like this, you cannot see anything, and you light one little candle, what are you going to see around you? Maybe cockroaches or some, insects or whatever you will be able to find under in a mine, a mile under the ground. And maybe the little candle will show you about, let's say, a diameter of 2 or 3 meters around you.
Yeah.
But still, it's not light,
Yeah.
You can see it's kind of half light,
Yes.
it's not light. But if you put more candles there, it's going to,
yes.
the
Light
ring
is
of
bigger.
light is going to expand.
Yes.
Now, what if you're going to put a bulb down there with a 5,000 watt electricity
yes.
Yeah.
shining through that? You are going to see the whole bloody mine underground. I mean, it's going to show you a big, big area. Now, the same with the white light of the Most High that you are using as a servant in His service. If you do it not in the correct way or half-hearted or
Yes.
okay, let's see, there we are. I'm covered up in light. You
Yes,
live in a
yeah.
fool's paradise. But if you do it correctly and you can sense it, you can feel it, you can see it, the stronger the light that you are going to visualize in your mind, the further away or the more potent demonic life forms will be pushed away by
Yes.
it. It will not be able to enter there.
Arrest?
Yes.
Excuse me for
No.
interrupting you. Can I please just explain? They can use an example for themselves. If they light a candle against the wall, the light of the fire won't show a shadow, but everything else will. The match will, or the lighter will show a shadow on the wall, but not the candle. So the light push away the darkness.
360 around you. Thank you for that. This is very important. I think you also out there. Thank you, Aliska. This is a very beautiful way to describe it. I didn't even put it in, so thank you for that. It's so nice to have a team, you know, that helps. Now, light is light in all dimensions, and darkness is darkness in all dimensions. The masses, Western people, as mind-controlled followers of Satan's representatives here on earth, know as the New World Order or the World Government, Dark Side Illuminati, don't want to be on the narrow road leading to Christ consciousness. They want to be in charge of their own lives on earth. Now they want to be on the broad road where they can be at the steering wheel of their own lives on earth, and where they can do what they want without consulting the Most High or their God, let's say Allah, praise His name, or any of the other
The true
real
light.
high gods. Now, demons are dark in color. I mean, in all dimensions. You cannot get a demon. You can get a demon in, let's say, Western body. This is not what I mean. If you can see into the, in other realms, let's say the fourth dimension,
Yes.
and you see a partly transparent figure, it could be an earthbound spirit, but if you see a total black mass coming in, I mean, the bigger the black mass, the stronger the demonic entity that is in that black mass. Now, that is why I say demons are dark in color. The darker the figure you can see, the stronger in power are such a demon. Now, earthbound human souls can be transparent like the one we saw in previous programs in this series. If you look like a human figure, although it is black in color, you can expect nothing good from such an earthbound human soul. And I mean, there are demonic entities, especially satanic seed line, where it looks like a human figure, but actually it's a satanic seed line figure.
Oh yes.
So it's not always to say if it's black, it's only, you know, a dark side earthbound, that it could be.
Yeah.
But it's most probably
Could be
going
the
to be a
soul
demonic
inside that's
entity.
already the one.
Yes.
I've actually had an attack through my father yesterday
Really?
with
Do you want
one
to
of
share it
those.
with the people?
So yeah, it was, but I was shielded and everything. The demon inside that actually came through to him, his body, using his body.
Mm.
It was actually quite frightening, but I was prepared and I was guarded by my guides and by the Most High, and with all of the shielding that we do. And that demon entity that entered him, I will say, I think it's a shape shifting from another person using his body,
Yes.
a satanic seed line, coming through his body, attacking us. So when it happened, we were at our new home where we are busy building. So everything that happened, that demon got so crazy, Aaron's. It was actually so awesome just to learn and get the wisdom out of it. But he was so crazy, and you could have, especially that feeling that we were talking
Yeah.
about. That demon was so frustrated because our light was so bright. It couldn't get close to us. It was going like this, attacking, waiting for me to give him to
and he
respond.
didn't respond.
He was so crazy that he left the
Premises.
premises. It wasn't my father.
Wow.
So it was a totally different, and I know exactly who it is.
And that thing is gone
But-
now because a father is a
He's-
father.
he's true
He's
self.
Yeah,
himself.
he's better
Yeah.
today. So, but yeah, and he actually admitted it. So yeah, that was a huge attack yesterday in flesh that
And
we
he admitted
experienced.
that he know
He
he was
experienced. He did admit it this morning. It was actually quite a big one.
wrong.
So you're really attacked in this world in flesh also, not only in the unseen, but you deal with them daily. And don't think because a person is your blood on this earthly manner that it is a light side. like you state.
Mm.
That soul inside can be dark.
Yes.
So, and that, if it's a brother thing, why do you look at it as the blood? If you understand what I'm saying,
Yes.
because it's not
Yes.
what it's all about. So you look at the soul inside of that body,
That's it.
and you know exactly what you are dealing with. So
There's a lot of Western people which is actually satanic seed line.
yes,
And the
exactly.
day they die and their soul bodies which gave conscious, the real they, when that departs, you know, from the body, and you are, let's say, astral traveling in the room next door, and you're in this room in astral form, your body lies there, and you're watching who goes it. You can see it's a satanic seed
Yes.
line.
Yeah.
The most beautiful person lying in front of you with the blackest spirit going
Yes.
out of him,
Yeah,
which is him actually.
yeah.
Yes.
But it is something to look at. People should start to awake regarding that and not be earthly, or how can I say, family connected, but
Yeah.
see what is actually with the person you think as your blood. Is it your brother, your sister, or whoever you are referring to? It's not about the blood; it's about the soul inside of that body.
Yes,
Thank
most
you
definitely.
So,
for-
and it does affect the people around you. So, shield people, because that
It's
was a
so
massive
easy,
attack,
yes.
and that demon, he
Couldn't
saw
enter your
his,
body.
yeah,
Mm.
no, we gave him his, what would you say?
For interesting, I was last night when you went to sleep, parents. I watched season 1, episode 9 of the X-Files. There's actually a nice example of a guy that's sleeping, and when he sleeps, this dark soul that's getting out of his body to compromise everything that he was supposed to do for the best.
Yeah.
That this thing actually do everything for the negative.
Yes.
Yes.
Ordering wrong parts, ordering parts that must have a mistake on,
Yeah.
get people's lives in danger.
Yes.
And that actually shows you this dark entity that's coming out of this body.
This is
That's
awesome. Just tell them again.
The X-Files, season 1, episode 9.
Thank you, Cobus. And you can really make a plan and go and watch those. I mean, it dates from the 90s. I think it's 1992, somewhere there. But the contents is very important. You know, I've watched some of those X-Files when I was a lot younger, but not all of them. And I saw it as sci-fi or something. Today I know of better. That is no sci-fi. That is reality.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So please go and look, get everything you need to see what reality is really about when it comes to the real you giving consciousness
Yes.
to the body of flesh.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what you said is totally correct. I am not even family of my own body that I give consciousness to. My family is in another dimension.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not humans, not
Yes.
all of them. You know what I mean? If you are my sister, but you are a dark sider, you're not my family. Your body you give consciousness to are family of my body that
Yeah.
I give, but we are not family.
Yes,
Can you
exactly.
see the difference?
Yeah.
I
And
hope
that's-
you can see the difference.
Yeah, and that's how deep and dark the mind controlling goes.
Yes.
And like I said, I mean, 35 years to be awakened, and it's a shock to you. Actually, it's a shock to see how you falsely worship,
And pray
because
to
that's
something.
how you were taught by the masses. And yeah, it's actually quite sad, but I'm so grateful to be awake.
Me too. And we can only say praise the Most High for this,
Thank you.
because His guides that He appointed
Yes, over
over
us.
each and one of us, they are leading us as the Most High want us to be led,
Yes,
you know, and
yes.
that is why we are so happy. This is
Yeah.
why we're always healthy and we have everything we want in life, because we serve the Most High.
Yes,
I mean, who wants to
exactly.
serve a Messiah or or a whatever. If you can
Yes.
be in service of the Most
Yeah,
High.
yeah.
But in any case, friends out there, I would like to share quickly a beautiful little, it's not an ancient secret, it's just to tell you. This morning even, and today is, what's the date?
22nd.
22nd of February in the year 2023, South Africa, Bloemfontein. I was sitting here typing the skeleton script of a forthcoming program on WAS, what is that, the names of the monoliths. Was monoliths or a monolith, was it created with hammers and chisels, or was it melded or whatever? And I tapped in and I got a whole program through.
Awesome.
Actually, I couldn't sleep last night. I was so anxious to start this morning because
Yes.
to tap
Yeah.
in. You are going to love that program, so just keep it in mind. Oh,
And
don't
that's a
miss it.
question everybody struggles with, to know how it was
where
built,
does
where does it
the
come.
Sphinx
Yes.
and all those kind of
Yeah, so it's going to be.
You are not going to
an
believe
awesome
what
program.
I'm going to tell you. Wow, it's awesome. Now back to demons and whatever. Demons and dark-sided earthbound souls are in shades of black for a reason. They like to live away from spiritual light for a very good logic and easy understandable reason. The true light or white light of the Most High burn demons and other dark side consciousness giving life forms the same way we as humans experience white hot flames. They don't like to be where there or where the purest
Yeah.
white light of the
Exactly.
Mohais is.
It drives them crazy. I saw it again yesterday. It's just amazing to see what it can do for you to shield yourself, to know the Most High in all of your ways, and to know that you are guided by so many guides. Please,
And
just
you know,
see it.
you know,
Everything will get better then.
every time we do a paratosa, you know about it. To clean ourselves, it's like an exorcist where we get rid of all the
Yes.
negativity stuff that maybe have attached to us
Yeah.
or so. Some attach, you know, with a long string. They
Yes.
don't come near you, but they are there. And it is so awesome to know, you know, if you go out and you are so covered up in pure white light, if a demon attacks you, I know what you experience
Yeah,
because I've
we
had
lost
it.
big time.
If you see in the Paratosa circle, while we recitate the words, you must see how mad those demonic entities
Yes.
become. The earthbounders will climb out and walk either north or south. North is to Voatse, right side. South is to Veka, or one of those planets where all the dark sides are being collected on after the bodies that they gave consciousness to died. And there are demons looking like wolves and like lizards and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff, but you must see how crazy they go. It looks like a bird if you rattle the cage. It goes wild. That thing cannot come out of the circle. It must go now to
Where he belongs.
where it belongs. You know,
Yeah.
they cannot handle it. It really, it looks like the most terrifying when you shake a bird cage and the birds, they. So I believe what you say, and I can
Yeah.
actually get a
It
picture in my
attacks. It's
mind.
like.
I'm so
I was
glad
just
you
like,
actually experienced it.
Yeah, it was interesting, and we
Part
learned a
of
lot.
learning.
And just also to experience what shielding actually can do,
For sure.
and knowing
Oh,
the Most High in all of your ways.
that
you'll
is the
be
best
fine.
secret
Yes.
that you can give to anybody. I've said it in program B of this series that Satan is not our biggest enemy. Satan is a god, in fact the god of sin. Like cosmic laws, transgressions and or ignoring you said ignoring the cosmic laws as if they don't exist. Now Satan was situated as the first man of planet Pentora in dimension 22. When he didn't want to be ruled by the Most High, Toratre Yahweh Goria, and equaled himself with the Most High, he was degraded to dimension Tum, which is dimension 3, planet Lonakusa. That is the name of our planet, given by the Most High and the Creator gods who created it. That was near enough to 201,365,130 years ago, when the first humanity, the Consulatisi, was created on earth. The name of the first Consulatisi human as a man was Banja. I know of one fallen light side Hefkanam, Lefitodara. Now, before I say this again, I must remind you to go back to that previous program, it was BA, just to understand all these titles and stuff. Otherwise, you are not going to understand where it come from. Now, I know of one. Remember, between 0 and dimension 100, you get ordinary whatever gods to rule here. But from, let's say, 109 to 209, it's actually from 1 to 2, but it can have a little difference. So let's say from 109 to 208, it's going to be Hefkanams. Now Satan was not even a Hefkanam, he was an ordinary god, so he was not very high. This Hefkanam Lefitadora, who rules on a planet in dimension 190, 190, from where he smuggled very high in rank Lefitadorian dark side demonic life forms through the doorways leading to our third dimension, Tum, planet Lonakusa, star system, Otago Mega. Oh, isn't it a beautiful name? The names of the Most High and the creators of star systems, working under him, gave to our planet Earth, etc. Isn't it beautiful? Otago Mega. Otago Mega. Oh, it's beautiful. So don't go and look for it under NASA's names of planets, etc. You will not find it there. The same with the demons, I know. Their names is not the names of the Catholic Church or the names that the Catholic Church gave them. In Western Christians, or if Western Christians does not even believe in the unseen or the invisible dimensions and life forms, what is the chance that they will believe in much higher dimensional demons?
And she mentioned the name of the fallen Hefkanam, Lefitadora. Is his demon stronger in power than Satan's demons? Legions?
Yes, Lakita, much stronger. He's much stronger than Satan's legions, that I can promise you. To give yourself one example, one of the endless different Lefitadorian demonic life forms name is Hastolagede. I always remember that a G in Tavala is a G and not G, like we say it. So it's Hastolagede. This is a demon not visible to the human eyes. When they, which is now a Hastolagede demonic entity, if they jump on your back, they sting you in the lower back, after which they depart again, almost like a hornet. It just comes in and it's got a stinger and it stings you in the lower back. The claws are usually, just turn around for those people. If I'm the demon, it will be something like long claws, which I've showed you, like this, and the hind legs here. And poops come the tail and stinger. It is horrible even to think of it.
And it's also the pain associated with it. It's also something that medicine, like a chemical medicine or like a pain pill or something, can't even.
It cannot
You can
heal.
drink and drink pain pills,
I'll
but
I'll
it's
tell you
won't
something
work.
about that. In this stage, you will not see the demon,
Yeah.
even if you can see demons.
Yeah.
But believe me, you will suffer to move after that thing. And I think a lot of people out there suffering from it. I've suffered
Yes.
from it
Exactly.
twice in my life, so I know. Because a Hastologede demon vibrates very high, I mean 190
Yeah,
dimension,
it's-
up and down. Also, it's not only in that dimension.
It's big.
They don't even see your human body. They see you and you alone. In other words,
Soul.
do they see Nikita? No, they see Ibolama, the
Yes.
name of the soul. So, by the way, she's Indian, red Indian, Ibolama. And this is Bebazola giving consciousness to this little body. She's a Bruba of the world, of the woods, of the woods. And me and Kabosi are just who we are. But in any case, yeah, negative planing vibrations attract them. Who are they? The Hastologede demons. So if you are negative complaining, you will attract them. If you complain about how bad your life is and the badness of your life is due to choices you made without knowing the Most High in these choices, these negative thought forms will definitely attract these Hastologede demons or demonic life forms. Verbal complaints as well. Now, when smaller in size Hastologede demons jumps on your neck, they will sting you in the shoulder blade areas as well. Now, no medicine or painkillers, this is what you said,
Yeah, so
takes this pain away. The reason, because you got stung, not the human body you give consciousness to. The human body will show no effects. You can go to whatever specialist you want, from a chiropractor till
they won't be able to.
orthopedic surgeon. They will not find any, even a neurologist will not find a blockage anywhere that can cause the pain.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? I'll tell you later.
So, Aaron's the cure for that pain?
Nikita, no medicine. You know it, so actually,
I know.
and we all know it, but that's why we talk to the friends out there.
Yes.
No medicine or painkillers helps. And you people are out there that suffered or still suffering from a Lepidodarian Hastologede demon will know what I'm talking about. It's undescribable, painful. Yeah, the only treatment medical specialists prescribe to the people that I know of in this country is something that in the long term will lift the affected person's pain levels, which something like, or with a medicine like Tripleen or something like that. The medical specialists refer to this kind of illness as fibromyalgia. Now, why do you don't get fibromyalgia in Buddhist communities or in all the other real?
Right side.
You know, it's because if you've got that illness, you can know it is, and I've proved it to how many people.
Ernst, can you as a Zora Molege practitioner help people suffering due to Hastologede demon?
Yes,
Isn't it?
Nikita, and friends out there, remember that any Zora Molege practitioner are only allowed to heal. And now there is a small painless ceremony involved and ointment which the Zora Molege practitioner must activate with words. His or her voice is permissioned and activated by the Most High to speak out. After the treatment, which takes about 4 minutes, the poisoned person must recite a special mantra for 2 months afterwards. Otherwise, the poison is not killed completely and can start again after months or years.
Aaron, I think our viewers out there are very anxious to learn how to shield themselves. So
Yes,
You-
Nikita. Then we share the ancient wisdom secrets applicable on shelf shielding with our friends out there. You know, you are very precious to us because what we maybe already have forgotten, some of you will find most interesting, and it will help you to grow spiritually and psychically in a speed that you will not get another method to equal.
Yeah.
You know, you can in one lifetime reach complete enlightenment,
Mm.
Christ consciousness, if you travel the road I've traveled, and everything is in the Brahma's writing. So don't think it's just a little thing. No. Let me see. I usually light a white tea candle, which I see as life, but sacred space, portal to the Most High Toratri Yahweh Goria. That little portal can be stronger if you light an incense stick together with it. If these people can see, there's still two, maybe you can see it, two little candles burning on our home altar. Okay, the incense sticks, there lies a whole bunch of it. We light one, that little lemon is for the fragrance. My one guide is also Indian. He's very fond of that, and this is how we pray. So let's continue. Choose a specific flavored incense stick. The smell of the incense stick will clear the air of negative vibrations and attachments in the altar room. Now first recite the offerings of your lips to the Most High Toratri Yahweh Goria. Make sure the address is without any doubt correct. Do not start with Dear Jesus or the Father of the Trinity to the Most High alone. This method belongs to the Most High Toratri Yahweh Goria and not to any other god or Hefkanim or whatever. So please don't start off. If you will say it in the name of Allah, if you are, praise His name, if you are a follower or a creation of a pupil, a human, whatever, of Allah, you can actually address Allah and ask for the light. He also is a very bright side, super Hefkanim, so you can use this. But then the method, or when you do these offerings of your lips, make sure you mean what you say. Don't just stand there and say, "Oh, Most High, thank you for a life, thank you that I can sit here, thank you that I can see." No, you don't do it like that. Otherwise, your offerings may be empty words, full of empty space, and seen as such. Take your time. Don't be in a hurry when you stand in front of His throne. Be pure of heart and pure of mind. Then when you finish the offerings of your lips with your hands in a prayer position, like this, I always pray like this, not this or this or you know this or whatever each person, but for this method you use it. This part, which is connected there, you put on your heart chakra, and this is what you do. Now, if you say thanks for something, I'm going to give a very stupid example. If I say thank you, Most High, that I can see, doesn't matter how good or bad I can see. And let the Most High feel in your heart how glad you are to be able to see. You know, I always say thanks for the lungs I've got. Although sometimes I get a little bit, what is Benoot?
Claustrophobic or something.
Yes.
Claustrophobic or something. But then, you know, so what? I can breathe. Other people cannot breathe. Other people sit there with the oxygen tank, you know, suffering just to stay alive. I can breathe. So I give a reason why I am so grateful to him. I've got fingers. I didn't have type at school to learn me how to type a typewriter or computer. I must look where I type, but at least I can type. Thank you so much for that opportunity to be able to write the Brahmins writings as an instrument. You are there. They are actually writing it. I'm just the instrument, but it's so nice. So when you finish the offerings of your the dress must be perfect, then the offerings of the lips must be perfect. The little candle, even if you in your mind you can light a bloody candle or an incense stick, but just see it as if they are there. And then here where I sit, I can see now a candle burning with an incense stick, and I can actually smell the incense stick as spiritual guide. And now I'm offering or give the offerings of my lips to the Most High, and when that is finished, you do this. And now you start adjusting. And as soon as you can feel a very nice kind of goose pimple effect in your arms running through, coming in, I don't want to adjust my hands now, but it comes from the crown chakra. You can adjust your spine so that you're actually supposed to stand. But I'm afraid if I'm going to stand, I could enter a trance of some state, so I'm going to sit. And when you adjust it, just feel the light flowing in your body. And if it goes right through your body or whatever, you bring your hands back to here, and you see the light that just came in and spread through the whole body, centers here on your heart. And where you is, you just see the light and say, woof! You know, something like you see it explode. Like she said, she explained to us, 360 all around, no shadows involved. And if you do it correctly, I can promise you, you will be covered in light. But don't go away. This is only my explanation. There's another part that you can you will find it very useful. When you feel the contact, keep your palms in that direction and keep it still. Then say out in a normal tone of voice something like, this is very important, Rmotsa elonsat fast Palotorata re Yahweh Goria Zamolo. Point your finger towards your heart and your name. In other words, Ramotsa Lonsat Fas Palotorata re Yahweh Goria Zamolo El Tisator. Because my name is El Tisator. If you don't know your name, and you only know the name of the body you give consciousness to, you may use that name in the beginning until where you can, or you will find yourself, what can I use it, spiritually enlightened enough to have two-way communication, in other words, to find out what is your name and what are you in fact.
Yeah.
Are you angelical? Are you human soul? Are you a Bruba? Are you... This is also a human soul, but this one, she had already seen... Ooh, it makes me actually kind of emotional. She saw what I saw, which is the Great Spirit. You know, in the universe marked out. It is such a privilege, and I'm so glad that she's on the team. And the Bruba as well, no demons attack her, because she is a Bruba of the woods. She knows all the languages of the woods, all the different life forms, etc. So remember, Motsalonsat fast palo turatre Yahweh Goria. Zamolo means white light. And cover me up, please, with white light. Eltizator, or Ernst, or Ibulama, or Nikita, or Kurbes, or Porentel. This is Porentel. And then you can see an arc. Now you visualize how a tiny arc-like blinding flame of an arc welding machine, when in action, starts in your heart, and see the blinding white arc enlarge until your whole body looks like a light side vision. A monodon. Now you are going to wonder what on earth is a monodon. In the next video clip that I've got from a YouTube program that gone viral is a monodon in action. The person who placed the video clip on YouTube saw this phenomenon on the security camera outside their home in their yard. They do not know what it is. So
the following video to her TikTok account and shows security camera footage that was filmed on January 2nd, 2023 and has been freaking out viewers ever since its upload. Let's take a look at the video together.
I just walked outside. Okay, this is the garden over here. You can't really see. Let me shine a flashlight. Here's the area, you know, the camera points to. Who would it be out here in the pitch black?
In the description of the video, Jen writes, quote, "I don't know, but I thought that this was a person. I called the police again, but we found nothing. No evidence of trespassing on any other surveillance or trail cam. They spoke to neighbors. The neighbors across the pond and through the woods said they heard shrieks and humming all night. Because there is actual activity here and it's intriguing, I kindly ask all of you who do know my location to please not attempt to come here without permission. I do carry. I will protect myself and my property. Kindly please leave me alone if this is human. I am losing my mind and don't know what's real and what isn't." End quote. To this day, it doesn't seem as if Jen has ever gotten to the bottom of this highly unsettling situation, and unfortunately, judging by what she wrote, it certainly seems as if this incident has scarred her. That's definitely understandable if all of this is real, because this isn't the first time she's uploaded a scary video to her account. Let's just hope that she eventually gets the closure that she so desperately needs, so that she can once again go back to living her life in peace and happiness like she wants.
if you are lucky enough to listen to this program and you know it's your video, you know you don't have to worry, because what you actually caught on camera is a monodon. I'll show you why you don't have to worry. If you can visualize yourself exploding in this kind of pure white light, you are shielded properly. You know, when I do it, but don't think it's only me. You can, it just for us in the beginning it will take time, but for us it means Ramatsalon sat fast palo tratre Yahweh Goria Zamolo Iltizator Prelat, and there it explodes. This is how quickly it will become later of days when you can visualize it much more easy, etc. If you can visualize yourself exploding in this kind of pure white light, you are shielded properly. Now, the purest, brightest light of the monodon, if you watch at the video that's now on, or you can watch it, is that we as humans can see with our naked eyes. But what does a pure white shield look like from a demonic view? So, in other words, what you cannot see that person, if there was a monodon and it was standing there, You will only see the human there, but as soon as the Harmonicon goes up, which is not an ordinary human, it's an angelical kind of force from the light side, but it looks like a human. And you will not see it with your eyes, but on that video screen you can see it. So one day, while at the sea, at night in the full moon, I saw what I later learned was a Historica. I'm sure you out there have heard of elves. Another name for elves is Kanete. Now, one kind of elf is known by the true light side deity kingdom representatives as a Historica, which is a sea elf. Remember now the different names? The Harmonodon is the light side one, and this is now an elf, which we call a Historica. Now, I'm sure you out there have heard of elves. Another name for an elf is a Kanete, as I said. Now, one kind of elf is known by the true light side kingdom representatives as Historica. I hope you've take it into your mind. Now, this sea elves protect small true light side children where necessary. I saw this little human-like creature behind the rocks with my naked eyes. I first thought it was a demonic entity because it looks like a black grey type of Darksider. Later I learned that they have to look like that so that little children can be scared of them. I got startled, and in my mind I just said, in my mind, and I did it in the following way. I wasn't angry or anything, or with huge explosive. I just thought, Rmotsalon sat fast palo turatriave goria satanaros avasandikatos. I thought it. And what I saw was a thick kind of see-through barrier between me and the Historica. In fact, it looked like a blown up something, but a white thing, and it was transparent for my eyes. But when it went out in the explosion, it actually took that elf, and I never saw it again. I don't know where it take it to, but this is how quickly it works. Ileska, will you please explain to our viewers, as friends out there, how this mind-created shield functions scientifically?
Ernst, my guides once showed me how to do this scientifically, as you said. When you take in cosmic energy from your crown chakra and it goes through every chakra, all of your chakras is connected to your nervous system, which is connected to everything in your body. And that cosmic energy that you take into your crown chakra needs to explode through everything, all of your nervous, your senses, receptors, neurons, everything needs to explode and make a unique geometric form or bubble around you. You won't see it because it's going to be extremely bright, but just to be biological, so that people can understand how it moves, all the energy moves through your body and creates a shield that only you can have, because it's your own geometric form that the Most High gave to you as a soul that you need to vibrate.
Wow.
If I can add, I've explained to someone, I actually showed them, even if you take like a piece of, it's a piece of mirror, it's like the disco balls outside, even if it's that part, and you go stand outside. I'm thinking to explain to the viewers out there more in the human body form for the eyes in the third dimension to see that whitest light. If you use that piece and you stand outside with the sun and you reflect it, so that the moment when you move it to a certain angle, the sun is going to reflect there, and it's
like
going
a
to
shock.
then you will get that feeling on how that bright light So you get the feeling. You don't even
Yes.
see it, you feel it.
What you need to feel
Yeah,
before
what
you
you
can,
need to feel,
yeah.
yeah. So if that can help them also.
Wow, thank you, Liska and Nikita. I'm sure nobody could have explained it better. Thank you, you two. Please press the like, share and subscribe buttons as well as the little bell icon to be in line for more true spiritual knowledge and ancient wisdom secrets. If you want us to compile a special program on a specific section or cosmic science, ask us and we will do so. Thanks for our friends out there who ask us to compile a program on demonology. It is ready and in line, part of the series. I've already compiled it for you. It is a few programs in the future that we are going to, to prepare it,
Yes.
to record the program, but it is already written. And if there are any persons who have a specific problem with a specific dark side entity that you don't know of, you can write to me. I'll put it in that demonic or the lecture on demonic. And until next time, friends, love and light to all of you. Thank you and
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.